Good evening and welcome back to another episode of The Longing, where today we are going to be continuing to read the Iliad by Homer, and we are very, very close to the end. We won't be able to finish it today, but we will be able to finish it tomorrow, at the latest in theory. But let's get going. He said, and rising chose the victim ewe, with silver fleece which his attendants slew. The limbs they sever from the reeking hide, with skill prepare them, and in parts divide. Each on the coals the separate morsels lays, and hasty snatches from the rising blaze. With bread the glittering canisters they load, which round the board Automedon bestowed. The chief himself to each his portion placed, and each indulging shared in sweet repast. When now the rage of hunger was repressed, the wondering hero eyes his royal guest. No less the royal guest the hero eyes, his godlike aspect and majestic size. Here youthful grace and noble fire engage, and there the mild benevolence of age. Thus gazing long the silence neither broke, a solemn scene at length the father spoke. Permit me now, beloved of Jove, to steep my careful temples in the dew of sleep. For since the day that numbered with the dead, my hapless son the dust has been my bed. Soft sleep a stranger to my weeping eyes, my only food, my sorrows and my sighs. Till now encouraged by the grace you give, I share thy banquet and consent to live. With that Achilles bade prepare the bed, with purple soft and shaggy carpets spread. Forth by the flaming lights they bend their way, and place the couches and the coverings lay. Then he, now father, sleep, but sleep not here. Consult thy safety and forgive my fear, lest lest any argive at this hour wake, to ask our counsel or our orders take. Approaching sudden to our open tent, perchance behold thee and our grace prevent. Should such report thy honoured person hear, the king of men the ransom might defer. But say with speed if aught of thy desire remains unasked, what time the rites require. To inter thy Hector, for so long we stay, our slaughtering arm, and bid the hosts obey. If then thy will permit, the monarch said, to finish all due honours to the dead, this of thy grace accord to thee are known, the fears of Ilion closed within her town. And at what distance from our walls aspire the hills of Ide and forests for the fire. 9 days to vent our sorrows I request, the 10th shall see the funeral and the feast. The next to raise the monument be given, the 12th we war, if war be doomed by heaven. This thy request, replied the chief, enjoy, till then our arms suspend the fall of Troy. Then gave his hand at parting to prevent the old man's fears, and turned within the tent, where fair Briseis, bright in blooming charms, expects her hero with desiring arms. But in the porch the king and herald rest, sad dreams of care yet wandering in their breast. Now gods and men the gifts of sleep partake, industrious Hermes only was awake. The king's return revolving in his mind, to pass the ramparts and the watch to blind. The power descending hovered o'er his head, and sleep'st thou, father, thus the vision said. Now dost thou sleep when Hector is restored, nor fear the Grecian foes or Grecian lord. Thy presence here should stern Atrides see, thy still surviving sons may sue for thee, may offer all thy treasures yet contain, to spare thy age, and offer all in vain. Waked with the word the trembling sire arose, and raised his friend, the god before him goes. He joins the mules, directs them with his hand, and moves in silence through the hostile land. When now to Xanthus' yellow stream they drove, Xanthus, immortal progeny of Jove, the winged deity forsook their view, and in a moment to Olympus flew. Now shed Aurora around her saffron ray, sprang through the gates of light and gave the day. Charged with the mournful load to Ilion go, the sage and king majestically slow. Cassandra first beholds from Ilion's spire the sad procession of her hoary sire. Then, as the pensive pomp advanced more near, her breathless brother stretched upon the bier. A shower of tears overflows her beauteous eyes, alarming thus all Ilion with her cries. Turn here your steps, and here your eyes employ, ye wretched daughters and ye sons of Troy. If e'er ye rushed in crowds with vast delight, to hail your hero glorious from the fight, now meet him dead, and let your sorrows flow, your common triumph and your common woe. In thronging crowds they issue to the plains, nor man nor woman in the walls remains. In every face the self-same grief is shown, and Troy sends forth one universal groan. At Scaia's gates they meet the mourning wain, hang on the wheels and grovel round the slain. The wife and mother, frantic with despair, kiss his pale cheek and rend their scattered hair. Thus wildly wailing at the gates they lay, and there had sighed and sorrowed out the day. But godlike Priam from the chariot rose. Forbear, he cried, this violence of woes. First to the palace let the car proceed, then pour your boundless sorrows o'er the dead. The waves of people at his word divide, slow rolls the chariot through the following tide. Even to the palace the sad pomp they wait, they weep and place him on the bed of state. A melancholy choir attend around, with plaintive sighs and music's solemn sound. Alternately they sing alternate flow, the obedient tears melodious in their woe, while deeper sorrows groan from each full heart, and nature speaks at every pause of art. First to the course the weeping consort flew, around his neck her milk-white arms she threw. And "O my Hector, O my lord," she cries, "snatched in thy bloom from these desiring eyes. Thou to the dismal realms forever gone, and I abandoned, desolate and alone. An only son, once comfort of our pains, sad product now of hapless love remains. Never to manly age that sun shall rise, or with increasing graces glad my eyes. For Ilion now, her great defender slain, shall sink a smoking ruin on the plain. Who now protects her wives with guardian care? Who saves her infants from the rage of war? Now hostile fleets must waft those infants o'er, those wives must wait them to a foreign shore. Thou too, my son, to barbarous climes shall go, the sad companion of thy mother's woe. Driven hence a slave before the victor's sword, condemned to toil for some inhuman lord, or else some Greek whose father pressed the plain, or son or brother by great Hector slain. In Hector's blood his vengeance shall enjoy, and hurl thee headlong from the towers of Troy. 297. For thy stern father never spared a foe, thence all these tears and all this scene of woe. Thence many evils his sad parents bore, his parents many, but his consorts more. Why gavest thou not to me thy dying hand, and why receive not I thy last command? Some word thou wouldst have spoke which sadly dear my soul might keep or utter with a tear, which never, never could be lost in air, fixed in my heart and oft repeated there. And with that we come to the end of the episode, which means that tomorrow will be the day that we finish the Iliad. So for now, thank you very much for joining today. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon or night. No matter what time of day it is, I hope you all have a wonderful one of it. And as always, we will be back tomorrow for more of The Longing. Goodbye.